So if you listen to the news like I do, our government getting us drawn into the conflict in Ukraine and our government egging Russia on, basically. It's really, isn't that sad that our government played such a hand into that invasion, but we almost encouraged it. We did encourage it. And so we have Russia always, Putin is always threatening, okay, you do this, you do that, and we keep doing it, we keep crossing that line. You wonder what's eventually going to happen. And then with China and everything that they're pulling on us now because they think that we're weak, it can really scare you or start to bother you. But that's not what this video is about. It just makes me think about the different wars that we've had previously, and I love history, as you know. So I like to look at what's going on in current events and kind of read what happened in the past. And that's what makes me feel better. And I found a really delightful piece of history that I wanted to share with you guys that occurred during World War II. Right after Pearl Harbor was bombed, which drug us into World War II, the American Red Cross galvanized, and they were trying to see all the different things that they could do to help our soldiers and to help our country. One of the ideas they came up with was the Doughnut Dollies. The Doughnut Dollies were young women. They had to be at least 25 years old. They had to have college degrees. They had to be easy on the eyes. They had to be polite and able to converse and cheerful. And what they did was they sent these Doughnut Dollies to the different battle sites. They were actually right there on the front lines in their little Jeeps making donuts because the American Red Cross thought that would comfort the soldiers and remind them of home. So these little Jeeps, they were able to fry donuts inside the Jeep, serve them to the soldiers, and they were also equipped with chairs in the back so they could set those out and the soldiers could relax and eat their donuts. They brought games, so probably chess, checkers, things like that they could relax and enjoy. They had lighters, they had gum, they had cigarettes, kind of like a traveling cigarette girl, right? Except they had donuts. And these women were very professional, but they really offered a wonderful bit of peace to these soldiers, a taste of home with their donuts. Now, they didn't only serve during World War II, they actually went on and served in Korea and in the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War, they didn't so much make donuts anymore, but they continued on the tradition of going to the front lines and offering games and places to sit and a woman to talk to and the comforts of home. So today I thought we'd make some World War II donuts since we're talking about war. And since I did a little history checking, one of the recipes we're going to do is an authentic World War II recipe. The second one is more of what you would consider to be a Depression era recipe, as it only takes 2 ingredients. So let's get started. Before we get started with the recipe, you guys, I want to thank 2 of my subscribers. First of all, my number 1 subscriber who loves me the most, Sue, got me these beautiful wooden utensils to use for my videos because she said, Miss Re-Written, I'm so sick of seeing you use a little teaspoon. to stir your ingredients. And these are beautiful, very heavy, all different shapes, utensils that I can use in my baking and my cooking. So, Sue, thank you so much. I absolutely love them. Another one of my viewers, whose name is also Sue, gave me this beautiful necklace. You can see it has I hope you can see a really small little butterfly in there and a little flower. And she makes these gorgeous bracelets. And I have another bracelet wrapped around them. Let me move it so you can see. But these are rose quartz stones, and they're healing stones. The stones, depending on their magnetic power, I read, Sue, can affect your health. So she gave me a beautiful card and made me these beautiful bracelets and gave me this gorgeous necklace. And I can't thank you guys enough. Kind gestures like this, you just don't know what they mean to someone who's struggling with a health issue or something else in their lives. And you planted a seed. So I'm going to make sure that I remember that and spread that kindness on. And so let's get to our first recipe, the authentic World War II recipe. It's for maple donuts. So the first thing I'm going to do is work with my wet ingredients here. I'm going to take milk, 1/4 cup of milk, and I'm going to mix that with brown sugar, 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Then I'm going to add 1 egg. Don't throw your shells away, friends. Make sure you put those in your compost bin. And we're going to stir that. We're going to add to that some sour cream, and that's 1/4 cup. There we go. And to that, we're going to add some melted butter. So I just added 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter to this. I had to cut it out because Marshall thought he saw a squirrel. So far we have 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1 egg, 1/3 cup brown sugar, 1/4 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of sour cream, and now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to take my standing mixer and I'm going to mix that really well. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So these are our wet ingredients and they look like pancake batter. And now we're going to add our dry, which is 1 cup of flour, all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. My beautiful new spoon. We're going to mix that up. Your batter will be thick once you get this mixed up well. And then we're going to pipe it into our pan. So I used my standing mixer and I mixed the dry ingredients into the wet. You have a fairly thick batter. See if I can show you guys here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dish that into a large gallon bag, cut off the corner of it, just the tip, and then we're going to pipe it into my donut pan here. I've already greased my donut pan. I have my oven heating up to 350. And I'll show you these donuts when I'm ready to put them in the oven. You've got your donut dough in your bag. You want to take it and work it down to a corner. So you're just going to start with taking your fingers, pushing that down. To one corner. Sometimes rolling it like this helps. Taking your hand and pushing down like this. Because we want to get as many donuts out of this batter as we can. So try to push as much as you can down to the bottom of your bag. Okay, I think we've got a lot of it. Gonna squeeze it to the corner. My end kind of popped in there, so we're gonna push it back out. And I'm gonna cut right here at the tip. And I'm gonna spread them the rest of the way with my finger. You can see as it first starts coming out of the bag, it's kind of, you know, going in all different places. But once you get to going, it's easier to manage. And I'm just squeezing as I go. Fill a little more in over here. More in over here. Looks like this might make maybe 7 donuts, I'm guessing. We'll keep pushing out and see what happens. I really love these donut pans. I never had much luck with frying donuts. I would either burn them or they would be soggy. These are less fattening anyway. So if you're gonna eat a donut, you might as well have one that's not very fattening. Okay. Actually, I got more out of here than I thought I would. Let's adjust our bag a little bit. Fill in some of these that look kind of sparse. Made 8. Those are going to be 8 nice looking donuts. So I think I have all that I'm going to get out of my dough. So I'm just going to take my fingers then and I'm going to swirl them around so they're nice and even. So I have those nice and even and spread all around the donut pan. So I'm going to shake them. I tap them so that they settle nice in there. I'll let them sit on my counter for about 5 minutes. As you guys know, I always do that with my baking so that everything starts to rise on its own and settle. So by the time I put it in the oven, I don't have to worry about anything becoming lopsided. I'm going to put these in the oven for 10 to 11 minutes. You're just going to watch the outside of them for brownness. When they start turning brown, they're ready to take out. Okay? So while our maple donuts are cooling, we're going to go ahead and make what's more of a Depression era type of donut because it only takes 2 ingredients. Think of how much money you're going to save if you only need 2 ingredients and they're not butter and they're not milk. So you're just going to take any cake mix, any kind of cake that you like, and you're going to mix that with 2 cups of applesauce. So I'll bring you down so you can see. So we're going to add that. This is really good if you have like a spice cake mix. Vanilla is delicious too. Any kind of cake cake mix that you like. And of course, you can add things to it, to a carrot cake, some fresh carrots that are shredded, to a vanilla cake, some kind of blueberries or another flavoring that you might like. But this is so easy. So I've got this pretty well mixed up. Now I'm going to go over and use my standing mixer to mix it up further. Took my cake mix and my 2 cups of applesauce. I put them in my standing mixer. Once again, I have a really nice batter. And I'm just going to cut this at an angle. It's going to run out on me at first. There we go. I greased my pan again. And I'm just going to fill these up like I did before. There we go. It's like it takes one as a test, and then the other ones start coming out a little easier. There we go. There we go. So once I get this pan full and cleaned up, I'll show you what they're going to look like. So over here, I have 1/3 cup of maple syrup, any kind will do, and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So you can see. And I'm going to let that mix together and get nice and thin. And then to that, we're going to add a cup of powdered sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we'll start dunking. So I took 1/3 cup of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of butter, and I heated them just until the butter was melted. I'm going to add that now to 1 cup of powdered sugar. We're going to make a nice glaze here. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Stir this around a little bit. There we go. And I don't want to neglect my chocolate donuts that should be coming out of the oven right about now. There we go. I hope you guys can see those. Aren't those beautiful? 2 ingredients. Any cake mix you like, 2 cups of applesauce. And I'm going to set those here for a minute and let them cool in the pan for just a minute while we do this. There, that's better now, you can see. So I'm just going to stir this. There's no need dragging out the mixer till I have a nice maple glaze. You guys, isn't this easy? I mean, what? This took me maybe an hour to make all these donuts. There we go. And as I'm cooking, I'm thinking about those Doughnut Dollies that went to the war front during World War II. And they were really heroes too, weren't they? They sacrificed their time to make our soldiers feel, you know, like they had a little touch of home there. And they were putting their lives on the line. They were right there on the war front. Okay, so now that I have this mixed, yeah, I'm going to go get my donuts over here. Didn't those turn out nice? And I'm just going to dunk them in. The icing. Rub them around real good. I know. Doesn't that look good? There we go. I'm going to try to get it to run off a little bit. And set those here. Now you can double dip if you like a thicker icing. go ahead and double dip your donuts. And we'll get to working on the chocolate as soon as I get these done. So I actually ended up keeping my chocolate donuts in the oven at 400 for about 15 minutes. And remember, everybody's oven is different. So keep checking them. Take a toothpick, stick them inside to make sure that they're done before you take them out. When it comes to icing, you can use any kind of icing you would like. If you want to get out your powdered sugar and your butter and milk and make it that way, or if you're in a hurry, like I am today, I'm just going to use regular frosting. Any kind of frosting will work. And you're just going to stick it in the microwave for less than a minute, just like 30 seconds. It's going to make a really nice glaze for you. And let's get to glazing these chocolate donuts. So I'm just going to take them, dip them down like this, let it run off. And like I said with the maple donuts, if you like a really, really sweet donut, you can double dip them. I'm just going to single dip mine here. Chocolate, vanilla, chocolate chips, anything you would like, you can put on top. Try to get the excess icing to drip off there. Now these, I'm going to add coconut to. The sweet coconut. And then when these are dry, we'll have one. These are the 2 ingredient donuts. I put some, I dunked them in just regular store-bought icing that I put in the microwave for just like 30 seconds. And then coconut on top. These are the maple World War II recipe. They're delicious. So these are just really simple. This one, if you want to take a little more time. This one, if you're in a hurry, but you still want to make something that you can take somewhere and that's delicious. So you guys, I hope you'll remember this week to make something sweet, to be sweet, to be kind, watch those balloons up above you, and have a great week.